Welcome to another episode of Let Us Cast. I am Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey, man, how's it going?
It's like quiet as that. Hey.
Hey, I'm a little subdued.
But a full energy into it.
I'm tired, man. I haven't been sleeping great. I've had a lot on my mind, sir.
Oh, you as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough then. So, hey.
Hey.
Oh man.
What's up, man? How's it going?
That's going all right. Yeah, I think I've told you some stuff that's like going on like off the air and whatnot, but
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. One day I'll get to it, but yeah.
Way to dangle that one, just like, well, I can't. I'm not talking about it, but we've talked about stuff. Like, what a riveting intro so far, sir.
Well, maybe when you're a little more energetic.
Hey. I guess you're right. I could have brought it a little stronger. You want to start again?
Yeah, really, man. Be me in college, sir. Start strong, finish weak. That's it. As long as you, I guess, like, you don't end up crying. I guess it's, if you end up crying, then it's exactly me in college. But,
oh man.
You know.
All right. So how about this? What have you been up to that we can talk about? How about that?
Yeah. Well, I talked to. I kind of want to put this out in Front Street here, man. So I talked with Billy from the old Mike and Billy podcast that used to happen. Good friends with them, and Billy actually has a touring circus, like a sideshow circus, going around called Dr. Finnegan's Circus. So I just wanted to give them a quick plug and everything. So if you're in the New England area, they're actually coming around to Mohegan Sun on April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd during the New England Tattoo Expo. And all of the tour dates, you can go on their Facebook page. Just search for Dr. Finnegan's Circus. And it'll be right there.
That was the pluggiest sounding plug I've ever heard, but I love it.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty cool, man. A traveling circus.
Yeah, traveling sideshow circus, man.
That's pretty sweet.
Awesome.
I don't think I've ever been to one. I mean, I've been to like, the Fiesta shows or whatever. You heard of those?
No.
Maybe they have different companies, but they're like festivals that travel around and stuff. It's like carnivals or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen like that stuff, but not like a traveling sideshow. That's pretty unique.
Well, yeah, I've never seen it. So I was thinking like when they go to the tattoo expo, I was thinking like, fuck, man, I'll swing by there.
Yeah.
I mean, Mohegan Sun's not that far of a drive from here. It's like maybe an hour.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So I could do that.
I could do that.
It's not bad at all.
I don't even need a reason.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh man.
Like hour drive? Okay. I do that for fucking work right now. Why not?
Yeah, that's true. You do, sir. You do commute quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I have one of my students is like 45 minutes away from me, but then again, everything is 45 minutes away from me if you know our conversations. So.
Yes.
But this time I mean it. Like they're legit, like 45 minutes to an hour away from me. But they're actually like my first students, so I still have them.
Actually, reminds me, how close is the nearest pizza shop to you? About 45 minutes?
About 45 minutes, yeah.
About 45 minutes.
Yeah. It's like that scene in Rain Man when they ask them like how much things are worth, and they're like, how much is a candy bar? About $100. And how much is one of those brand new Chevys? About $100. Like everything was $100. Everything for me is 45 minutes away. I'm not saying I'm as intelligent as Rain Man, but yeah.
Right. You at least know the concept of like how much a candy bar is.
Yeah, for sure. But
at least I'm sure, like in the
but distance, forget it. Like time wise, if you're like, how far is it? 45 minutes, dude, easy.
Yeah, train ride from Massachusetts to California,
45 minutes. Yeah.
Just get on the train, take a quick nap. You wake up, you're at Disney. There you go.
Exactly. It's like a time machine.
Downtown Los Angeles. Yeah, downtown Los Angeles. Yeah, it's 45 minutes away from there.
It's like in Brother, Where Art Thou? Isn't this place a geographical oddity 2 weeks from everywhere's? Only mine is 45 minutes. Now, wait, you never saw it?
I never saw it.
Oh, dude. I think you'd like it, honestly.
There are so many fucking movies movies and TV shows that I've never seen in my life. And people are like, you've never seen that? Wow, how could you have never seen that? Like
what? What are some other ones?
As far as like TV shows, like I never saw Game of Thrones.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah. I never saw Breaking Bad.
Me neither.
Have
you seen Dexter?
No, I haven't seen Dexter.
Me neither.
Thank you for being on this journey with me. I had no idea I had a partner for this 45-minute mental fuck of a journey.
Oh, man. So welcome to Things We Haven't Seen by Let Us Cast. Oh, man.
Hey, Bruce, you ever seen a grown man naked?
Oh, dude.
I love you for that.
It's funny though how that happens though, right? Like there's so many things that like you haven't seen or heard that people are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you haven't seen it." It's like I just haven't.
Yeah, like
I just haven't made the time. Sorry, I've been doing other stuff.
It's either I haven't made the time. It's either I haven't made the time, or I haven't made. You know, there was no interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a Jordan Peele movie, Get Out. I haven't seen that yet.
Me neither.
Both Ant-Man movies, I had no fucking interest because fuck Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, people are like, "Oh, Breaking Bad, it's such a great show." I'm like, I don't care.
it might be, but it just doesn't.
It might be, but
doesn't interest me.
I don't have the time to commit to 7 or 8 fucking seasons, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of. I mean, there's nothing that says that you have to watch them all, but at the same time, you kind of end up wanting to. In a way, it's like, well, I started, you know.
Yeah.
So when you start a puzzle, you
like,
don't want to just like be like, well, especially when it has an end, right? So you're like, oh, I mean, if it's a new show and it's still going, you might not necessarily like care about committing to it. It's like, well, I just got to catch up, and who knows how long this is gonna go, but.
Yeah, like that's the thing too. Like I'm still watching like other shows. I'm still trying to get caught up on season 3 of The Boys, or is it season 2? I think they're on season 2 or season 3. Either way,
The Boys?
Trying to get caught up. The Boys is on Amazon Prime. It's a comic book TV show. Basically, corporations ruin superheroes. Mm. Yeah, like they create their own superheroes and they ruin the concept of superheroes. But regardless,
is it good?
And apparently, like it's really good.
Yeah.
It is really, really good. Like their version of Superman is an absolute asshole.
That's a good thing?
Not really, because I'm getting kind of tired of that concept myself. Of like, hey, I got a great idea. Are we gonna make Superman a bad guy? How did you know? We've already done that. I don't know how many fucking times. Superman's gonna be the bad guy. Superman's gonna be bad guy. Bad guy Superman. Bad guy Superman. Like. It was interesting the first time. It was kind of cool to expand on it the second time. But now we just kind of keep kicking a bad fucking dead Superman horse here, which I'm sure there was a Superman horse character too. And we just keep fucking kicking the goddamn thing. It's like, okay, how about this? What if Batman was the fucking bad guy? Batman's not the bad guy. He's got a plan for that. I'm sure he fucking does. He's got a plan for everything, doesn't he?
This sounds like some anti-Batman rhetoric, sir. Although I will say it is kind of strange if you think about the concept of like Superman is kind of like the quintessential hero in a way. Like if you ask anybody who doesn't really care about comics, like to name a superhero, it's sort of like, if you ask someone who's never seen wrestling, they can name a wrestler. They'll be like Hulk Hogan, right? Or Macho Man or something like that. Or The Rock, right? Even people who don't know comic books, you ask them like, who's a comic book character? Or who's a comic book hero? They're gonna be like Superman, no question.
Yeah, like even if they're like, even if you show them like a picture of him, like if you hold up like a picture of Mario, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's Nintendo Mario. All right, cool. Like you show them a picture of Superman. Oh yeah, that's Superman. That's Spider-Man. It's part of pop culture now. Like you may not be a fan of it, but you would at least recognize like, okay, that's what it is.
Do you think Batman's the same way? Like. All bias aside, do you think Batman would get the same like someone who doesn't know anything about comics? You walk up, they're like, name a superhero. Like what do you think the top 5 of that would be? Like people who, like I said, you think of like Hogan or Macho. It's got to be like Superman. You think Batman's in that list? Spider-Man? Like who's in there?
As far as top heroes, like nowadays.
Yeah, like who would people name who have no idea? Like who have no idea like what superheroes are or whatever, like nothing about comic books, who can they name, do you think?
3 off the top of my head would be Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Probably another one would probably be Captain America, and then another one probably Iron Man, just because of the movies.
Yeah, probably. That's true because they have made movies, so like they're finding someone who's not at least have a passing awareness of them is probably pretty rare. But
yeah,
at least in
I mean, dude, like they had Robert Downey Jr. play fucking Iron Man for 10 years. They had Chris Evans play Captain America for 10 years.
Yeah,
like people know who Iron Man and Captain America are at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I mean, a movie like,
although I wonder if they'd be like Sonic the Hedgehog.
They would know who Sonic the Hedgehog is.
Yeah, but would they list him as like a comic book
as a superhero?
Yeah.
No.
That'd be kind of funny.
That would be kind of funny. I mean, technically he does have his own comic book line, so
yeah,
I guess they kind of be right on a technicality.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That's like saying like, oh, Mortal Kombat. I mean, yeah, they had a comic book. It was horrible, and it came much after the fact. But yeah, technically they had a comic.
Yeah, but I mean,
or Ultimate Warrior, like that counts. Like, come on, could you imagine? Or what did Diesel use? Did he use the Big Sexy or something like that for his comic?
Big Sexy Cool or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't remember like any like Diesel comic.
There was a Diesel comic too.
Dude, when I look at him, I'm just like, fucking Super Shredder. That's who they got for Super Shredder.
Yeah, it's true.
I also think about all the CM Punk promos that happened. It's like, so here comes Kevin Nash running down, briskly walking down to the ring. There was one that like the storyline was like Triple H sent Kevin Nash a text message to run into this championship match between CM Punk and Del Rio. And yes, for anybody listening, this always comes back to wrestling some fucking how. So, Punk's like, I got the, I'm hearing about these text messages, blah, blah, blah. Nash is like, you want to see my phone? I'll show you the text messages. He's like, Punk looks at him. He's like, you want to see the text message my sister Shalise sent me? There we go. Kevin Nash, OMG, thought he was dead, LOL. I'm like, fucking burn, dude.
Oh, man.
That's why Punk is awesome. Anyways.
How do we get on CM Punk? I guess, because Kevin Nash, the comic books. Yeah. Okay, I followed it. I came back. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And, bring it back to comic books, Punk said, like, hey, if there's one live action role that I want to do, it would be Casey Jones in a Ninja Turtles movie.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd see that.
I could see, I was going to say, I could see Punk as a Casey Jones. Although, I don't know, the guy who did it in the original movies was pretty cool. I liked him as Casey Jones.
He was pretty cool, but it's like, but it's like, okay, well, storylines change and like, that image of him in the first movie, absolutely taken away by the third movie.
Well, yeah, there is that.
But
we don't talk about the, sir, I'm sure you've seen Encanto by now. We don't talk about the third movie, sir.
I will say this, as far as Turtles 3 go.
That you left it here?
Like Netflix,
I still haven't forgotten.
I'd imagine you've thrown it out by this point.
Sadly, no. It plagues my living room to the day.
It's just haunting you.
It is. It really is. It like taunts me. Although we do have to like get rid of stuff, so like that might be high up on the list of things to get rid of.
And just donate it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man.
But like the funny part is like if you go on Netflix, which is I think it's where it's streaming right now, and you look at it, it's Ninja Turtles 3, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and it says Turtles in Time. I'm like, no, you don't do that shit. Like,
yeah,
Turtles in Time is one of the greatest side-scrolling beat-em-up video games of all time.
For sure.
Ninja Turtles 3 absolutely sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. I don't remember it ever being called Turtles in Time, like even back when it came out. Like, did it ever get that like after the fact? Is that like a legit thing, or did they?
No, that
they
was
just mess it up.
Like, that was just something like fans just started. It's like, oh, Turtles in 3, it's Turtles in Time. It's like
because it involves time travel.
Yeah, because it involves time travel. But it's like, well, Turtles in Time, like the video game, like they went back to different times. They even went to the fucking future.
Yeah, the name was much more applicable to the game than it was to the movie.
Yeah,
because they just went to feudal Japan in the movie.
Yeah, like you could just call it like Ninja Turtles 3, Feudal Turtles or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Samurais on a half shell, something, whatever.
You're gonna pay to see this movie, even though it's garbage. Turtles 3.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah, Turtles 3.
Because we did. I think I saw that in the theater, actually. I know I saw 1 and 2 in the theater.
I did too. Yeah, I saw 1 and 2 in the theater as well.
Yeah. That was like prime, like... That was like prime time
that
for
was
movies.
Like the height of like Turtle Mania.
Yeah, yeah. And then it all went downhill so fast.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like you go back, you like look at the 1984 like Turtles cartoon and whatnot. You're just like, oh man, how was I a fan of this?
Which one? The one in the 90s? Which one?
No, the one in like it started like the early 80s. I think the cartoon first came out in like 86, 87, something like that.
Yeah, the one that we watched as kids. You're saying you don't like that one?
Yeah. Not compared to like what they've made recently. No.
Wow. See, I've never even seen the recent ones, but I kind of like the old ones, man.
Have you watched them recently?
No, to be fair.
Then I know the cure.
Is that what it is? It's nostalgic glasses? Because I haven't watched them since I was a kid, man.
It's rose-colored nostalgic glasses. That's it.
That's unfortunate. Why? Okay, so what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them?
Okay. First off, Shredder and Krang goofy fucking schemes every fucking episode, except for like the last season that they had. What the fuck was his name? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here.
Oh, I love that character. He's my favorite.
Oh yeah. It was great. Made a toy of him and everything.
He probably did. Who was it?
It was Lord Dreg. It was Lord Dreg. It was like this intergalactic bug that came to Earth to conquer it. Because at this point, Shredder and Krang are trapped in Dimension X.
I don't remember this dude.
This was like the 10th season.
Okay.
So, but like what I liked about like the first like 4 or 5 episodes, like there was at least a story arc kind of going through that. I was like, all right, this is cool. You know, there's good action there, and then it's just like, hey, I got this great idea. I have these alien eggs shaped like meatballs. We're gonna put them on a pizza, and the turtles will get it. Like, you fucking.
Yeah, but dude, when you're a kid, like that made sense. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
So as a kid, you're like, I can go for this, you know.
Yeah, but also
like
as a kid,
think about it seriously, dude. That you're talking about like, okay, think about you're gonna sit down and critically watch. Like, I just dropped Encanto, right? Imagine you're gonna sit down and critically watch Encanto and be like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like, there's magic spells and doors and whatnot. This is baloney. I can't believe we believe this. Like, you're shocked that something made for kids is sort of childish.
It's also I get it. Like I get that. Like, okay, it's Disney. It's a kids cartoon.
Yeah, man. Like, consider the context.
Yeah, like you watch like Turning Red. Like nobody actually turns into a red fucking panda in real life. Like that's unfucking believable. Like I get it.
Did you watch that movie, Turning Red?
I got you. I haven't seen that yet. No, but I have the basic understanding of the concept of it. Yes. Yeah. So.
Okay. No
but
Encanto,
again, like
sir.
go back. But again, you go back, you watch that Turtles series, and like the first couple episodes, there's Michelangelo swinging his fucking nunchucks around like a fucking idiot. And then just one episode, it's almost like he leaves the lair without, remembering his nunchucks, and he's swinging a fucking grappling hook around. And then we find out the reason they're like, oh, well, they couldn't show nunchucks, in England, so they had to do this so they could show it around the world. It's like, so you can't show nunchucks, but you have this one with sharp sides, you have this one with swords, you have this one with a fucking stick, and they're just beating the shit out of people. Like, tell me, like, how are the nunchucks more dangerous than somebody coming after you with swords? Like, if somebody's coming after me with swords, I know I'm fucked. if somebody's coming after me with nunchucks, I'm like, I at least got a chance here.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, I guess I see your point. I'd be scared even of the chucks.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's swinging nunchucks around. It's like, all right, I can at least like block those, I guess. You know, somebody's swinging swords around. You're just like, oh, fuck.
That you're not blocking for sure. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like that I can't just go like bouncing
unless you are Shredder, man.
Well, if you're Shredder, you're actually a better skilled ninja than the fucking turtles are, so you're okay there.
But I just mean, like, I don't think we were meant to take it seriously. And as a kid, I'm sure you loved that. I'm sure you loved that stuff, you know?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was watching that. I was watching, Transformers, for example. Like, yeah, and okay, I get it. The concept of giant robots coming to Earth and saving humans and whatnot. It's like, it's a stretch. I get it,
to say the least.
Yeah, it's as a kid, it's whatever. It is what it is. I get it.
But that's the thing. If you go back and watch any of the stuff that you watched as a kid, pretty much, like, it doesn't necessarily hold up, But that's true of pretty much everything. Nothing holds up for long periods of time. Really. Very, very few things do.
I think some of it does, and then some of it you always kind of question it. Like the '84 Transformers movie, like that still holds up to me.
I still don't think I've seen it to this day.
We will watch that.
I was never a big Transformers guy.
That's because I'm assuming you saw the Michael Bay one.
No. Just never really got into Transformers. I haven't seen those either, though. They're more than meets the eye. Oh, man.
Dude, they legitimately swore in that movie. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like there's... So the concept of the movie is that there's this giant like Transformer planet that goes around and eats other like planets called Unicron. So in one of the parts, Human Dad Spike and Bumblebee, like they set up their moon base to explode when this thing fucking chomps down on it. They're getting away. Bomb goes off and like they're like, yeah, this is great. Yeah! They look back in the camera like. They look back, they see nothing's happened to it, and Spike goes, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? I'm like, that's awesome. As a kid, you were just like, they use big boy language. Meanwhile, parents are like, what are you gonna do?
So that's your main selling point for the Transformers?
Think about it. It's a fucking cartoon for kids, and they actually swore in it. That and the soundtrack is awesome.
Oh my gosh. So what were we saying about nostalgia glasses? No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you? Don't drag me down to your fucking world.
Oh man.
No, they obviously, like there are still some things like from our childhood that I think still holds up. I don't know. Did you watch the Batman animated TV series that was on when we were kids?
Yeah. I actually saw what was it? Mask of the Phantasm. I saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Still fucking like I would argue that's one of the best Batman movies of all time.
Yeah, I guess some things hold up, but they're kind of few and far between ultimately. And plus, it depends on like what kind of timeline we're talking about here. Like, think about something from like 100. I mean, some things from like 100 or whatever years ago they hold up. Some things don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Nosferatu is going to hold up here. we're talking Batman.
I'm just saying there's a limit. Not everything makes it to that mark.
Dude, Phantom of the Opera from 1934 is not going to exactly hold up nowadays.
I don't know. To some people, it might, though. It depends.
A quick story about that, actually.
About what? Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah. So get this. When Chris and I think we were in high school or he was in college at the time, we go out to like Newbury Comics or Best Buy or something like that, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna buy this." I'm looking at the DVD. I was like, "What is it?" He goes, "Phantom of the Opera from 1934." I was like, A, I never pictured you for an opera guy. B, why? He goes, "It's 1934. And it's really old. And like I couldn't understand, like, why is he buying something that he's never fucking seen, B is from 1934.
So just sight unseen, he decides to buy Phantom of the Opera 1934, knowing nothing about it. Also, like,
to be fair, that was kind of Chris. Like,
he would just buy stuff randomly.
he would just randomly buy stuff on, like, literally.
I wish he was here to talk about it right now.
I kind of wish he was too.
That's so weird. Like, why would you just buy stuff?
Nah, it's all good.
You haven't seen it.
Well, yeah, he's never seen it. But here, true story on this one, and we can bring him on next week and talk about this. But he, literally a couple of hours before we're graduating high school, like, we went through the practice ceremony, all that and whatnot. And they're like, all right, guys, go home, grab something to eat, take a nap, take a shit, whatever you got to do. And then just be back here at this time. Like, cool. He literally calls me up. He's like, dude, you're coming with me. What are we doing? I'm going to buy a turtle.
Oh, God.
So sure enough, we drive out to the fucking pet store and he buys a Russian tortoise.
Oh.
I don't know why. He's never really explained to me, like, why he bought a fucking turtle. But
whatever became of the turtle? Like, I assume he took care of it. Did he end up giving it to somebody? Like, what happened with the turtle?
No, he ended up taking care of it until the thing died. Like, he, like, set up this whole, like, habitat for him, like, filled up with sand. There's a heat lamp, and he would give it food and bring it, like, lettuce and whatnot. And just one day the thing fucking died. Like, God, I want to say that was like, shit, when did we graduate high school? That was 2002. Yeah, probably like 10, 15 years ago. Something like that.
But dude never talked about, like, I really want a pet. I think I want to get a turtle. He just kind of springs on you like,
no,
let's go buy a turtle.
No, and like the funny part was he didn't tell his parents he was going to do it.
Oh, no.
True story, dude. He has this thing in, like, a glass fish tank. Like, one of those, like, normal, like, big, like, 10-gallon tanks. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, one day I go over to his house because we were going to go play baseball or something like that. And he goes, like, his dad, Hondo, fucking one of the funniest fucking guys I've ever met. Whether he was intentionally funny or unintentionally, he was fucking hilarious. He, like, we're waiting for Chris. He's upstairs in his room, like, finishing up a shower or whatever have you. And his dad looks at me. He's like, hey, you know that fucking kid's got a turtle up there? I was like, I kind of knew about it. I thought he had talked to you guys about that before. He's like, I don't have any fucking idea until I go up there because I'm hearing this noise going clack, 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 dunk. Clack, 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 dunk. He's like, I go upstairs like, what the hell is this? He's like, I go upstairs, there's a fucking turtle in a glass tank. I'm like, Chris, what the fuck is this? I'm like, God damn it, you're fucking great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's fucking great, man. But
so, oh, man, that's so crazy. Like, dude just buys a turtle.
Just randomly. He was just like...
What was the turtle's name?
Buy a turtle?
Do you remember?
You know what? I don't even remember.
Oh.
I don't know. Like, that thing had, like, 6 different fucking names. I think at one point it was called Boris. I think at one point it was called Chuck. Another time I think it was called, like, Boris the Russian Tortoise.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this thing had, like, 6 fucking names, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was just, Jesus Christ. It's fucking hilarious.
I can't wait to ask him about that. Like, that's
yeah,
hilarious.
Well, I think we should have him on next week. Like, we were supposed to have him on today, both him and Ryan, but the whole daylight savings time kind of screwed them up.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, you guys did that. We don't fucking do that out here in Arizona. It's like,
no,
oh
they
shit,
don't.
Right?
That's one of the nice things about out there is that no daylight savings.
Yeah, they're just like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. But yeah, that was fucking great. Just him buying the fucking turtle.
I mean, like, I can understand with, like, to a degree, I can understand with buying movies you haven't seen because you're curious about it or whatever, you know. So you're like, oh, you know, it sounds good, I'll check it out. But you like in our day, you would just go rent it, you know, or like nowadays, you could probably just rent it on a streaming service. You don't have to outright buy the thing usually, you know. So just the concept of like buying physical media sight unseen is kind of crazy to me, for some reason.
Well, that was kind of the thing too. Like if it was like, you know, like a sports movie or something like that, I wouldn't question it. It's like, all right, he's a sports fan, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a movie he hasn't seen before, he probably wants to see it.
That's true. It kind of depends, like, what it is, too. Like, if he picks up, like, Barbie the movie or something, you're going to be like, what you getting there, sir?
Like, no, it's like, I don't even, like, really, like, question him, like, why he's getting him, but I'm just like...
He's like, I'm just curious
to see where this goes. Like,
this plot's riveting to me.
Like, I'm kind of curious as to why you've made this choice. Whether you want to, you know, if you're going to enjoy it, hey, fucking kudos to you, man. But
or it could be buying it as a gift or something. You never know.
Yeah, like, usually if he was buying something as a gift, he's just like, yo, I'm going to buy this for, you know, whoever. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
He wasn't buying this for a gift. He was buying Phantom of the Opera 1934 for himself. And I'm like, you, as far as I've known you, which I've known him for 20 years this year. Since I have known him, he has never shown interest in opera once. He has never shown interest in, like...
horror movies?
Like, not even, like, really, like, horror movies. He's never shown interest in, like, older movies. Like, you know, I never saw him buy a copy of Nosferatu or anything like that. Or I never saw him buy a copy of, like, you know, Earth Women from Venus, or, you know, some goofy like sci-fi movie or something like that,
Wolfman, like or Dracula or whatever, The Mummy.
Like,
none of the classics.
None of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like fucking Boris Karloff or anything like that. Fucking nothing like that. But it was just the most random fucking purchase he could have bought. Like that to me was more random than the fucking turtle.
Really? You think that's more random than buying a live animal?
Yeah, because I'm like, all right, you know, like a turtle, I think, all right, that's kind of in his wheelhouse. Like, that's something like goofy. He, you know, feed it a little bit, turn a heat lamp on for it. He's good to go. Like, he's shown interest in animals. He has never shown interest in Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, so he did show interest in an animal before, but he never was like, I'm going to go buy a pet.
No, it was mostly like, you know, if like he came over to the house, you know, had the dog, had cats. You know, he'd go over to somebody else's house, they had like fish or something like that. So, you know, he likes animals, but...
Yeah.
So he at least showed an interest in animals, but he has never shown interest in Phantom of the Opera.
Did he have other pets besides the turtle, or no?
No.
No, just the turtle?
Just the turtle.
Oh, man.
Well, my point still stands, man. Like, he never showed interest in, like, any of those, like, older, like, movies or anything like that.
What you opening,
so that,
sir?
To me was... I got myself a nice little ice-cold Zevia.
Hey, man, me too.
I'm a
no sponsorships.
Yeah, I'm a sellout.
We got you hooked on that, didn't we?
Yeah, you bastard.
It is good, man. We try to limit it. It's tough.
It's good, but it's fucking expensive as fuck.
That's the problem.
Yeah, fucking 6-pack for $6. Kiss my goddamn dick as I drink more of it.
He's double fisting it, like.
Just having a Steve Austin like beer batch with it. Like, it's 2 cans. There's Jim Ross just going like, "My God, there's gonna be about $100 worth of soda in there." It's not wrong.
Oh man.
Oh shit. So there were a couple other things we were going to talk about, not to, you know, go off on the tangent about Chris and Phantom of the Opera here.
Worth going down.
Oh, it's always worth going down those rabbit holes. But yeah, so there were 2 things we were going to talk about. One of them being the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton came coming out and saying, "Hey, like I appreciate it, but I'm not rock and roll." Like case in point, AC/DC would never be in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And everyone's like, "Hey, you know what? Dolly's a stand back. Kudos to her for doing that."
For sure. Although I'll be fair, to be fair, I think she deserves it. Because there's a lot of people who are influenced by her, even though she's not like a rock artist. There's a lot of rock artists who were influenced by her. That
Well, yeah, I mean, it's also like if you asked, but yeah, like if you asked Garth Brooks, for example, he will tell you the two bands that he was most influenced by were Queen and Kiss. So I get that.
Yeah.
But it's also like, guys, just change the fucking name to the Music Hall of Fame so we can be done with this fucking argument shit.
Yeah, there really should just be like one, right? Like the Music Hall of Fame, and whether you're like, rock, country, R&B, like who cares? Like if you're music of any kind, you could be in the Music Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Why all the divisions and stuff? Although at the same time, like we don't have like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a radio station that played like every kind of genre too? Like even if you don't like them, I think they deserve like. Wouldn't it would be kind of cool to have a station that like has all of them together?
Yeah, but it's also like when do you play what?
Yeah.
Do you really want to follow up like It's also like you want it to kind of flow together. Like you don't want to start off with like a Katy Perry song and then go into fucking Metallica or something like that.
The way I envision it would be like sort of like college radio, I guess, even though I have no experience with college radio, but like
we almost did.
We almost did. We were this close. But that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
But like I envision it like you'd section it off by hours, like sections of hours, right? Like an hour or two is devoted to each genre, and you just keep running through. And in that case, like you don't really have to worry about like what time things go on, because like people who are going to be fans of one or the other are going to tune into those times. But really the idea wouldn't be to play like one genre and then the different genre right after it. I would section it out like by hours. So you have someone who's really good with hip hop be the DJ for an hour or two, and then someone who's really good with country DJ for an hour or two, and hopefully you get some bleed over from like, hey, I just listened to some hip hop and now country's on after it. I'm going to stay and at least check it out, you know what I mean? Or maybe have like occasional pop-ins from other genres or something, like crossovers, if you will. Like this is kind of hip hop, but it's also got some country vibe to it. You know what I mean? Like just to kind of, melt things together.
But the only problem with that is it comes down to sponsorships in the sense of like
that's true.
The sponsors are going to pay more money for when people are listening more. So you're going to have like those drive time times, like the mornings, the afternoons, the middays. Like those are going to be dominated by the popular forms of music, be it hip hop, country, modern pop, whatever fuck have you. And then fucking rock and roll metal is going to be left for the midnight hours,
I guess.
So it's like you're not going to gain any fucking rock and roll fans or any metal fans, at fucking midnight.
Yeah. Or you could just do like a rotating schedule where like, I don't know. Like, because then it changes every day and it gets unreliable, I guess. Then people won't tune in because they're like, it keeps moving, it keeps changing. I can't do this.
Yeah. So, people like, they set up their day around like radio schedules. Like, oh, you like listening to this morning show. If it's not on, they're just like, when the fuck is this coming on? Well, it's going to be on at midnight. Why? I'm not going to listen at fucking midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That is a problem.
So people like stability and what's familiar to them.
That is very true, sir.
Yeah. And there really is no like the only close thing that you have to it is like an algorithm on like Spotify, for example, of like, oh hey, you've been playing Madonna. Here's a couple of artists you might also like.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but I think Spotify allows you to like make a playlist based upon things that you've liked. So it'll just kind of like find random stuff that kind of covers everything that you listen to. So the more like eclectic you are in listening on Spotify, theoretically, the more eclectic your station could be.
Yeah, I guess you can. I guess you can do that on Spotify. I don't know.
I don't know for
Spotify.
Sure.
Like I don't have a fucking Spotify account. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, I really don't.
I kind of avoided it for a while, but then like. I don't remember why exactly I got into Spotify. I think there was, I know why. Because the Murdochs released an album and I really wanted to check it out, but they didn't do any any physical releases of it, so I couldn't buy it. So he sent me to Spotify to check it out, but then I wasn't able to listen to like the whole album in order on Spotify. It was complicated, but long story short, the way I originally thought I was going to hear it was by going through Spotify. So I got it and just kind of ended up using it after that to look at other things like jazz standards that I want to learn, or like Rogan's podcast is on there, so I checked that out. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like the only thing I'm against Spotify is like they pay their artists absolute jack shit.
Oh, really?
Like unless you're Joe Rogan and then you got that $200 million fucking deal.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that artists didn't get much.
No, they really don't. It's I forget like what their pay algorithm is, but it's fucking abysmal.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Let's see. So apparently, according to Business Insider, Spotify pays rights holders between 0.003 cents and 0.005 cents per stream on average. Let's see. Approximately 70% of the total revenue earned per stream goes to the artist, while the rest is absorbed by the platform itself.
How much goes to the artist?
0.003 cents or 0.005 cents.
Wow.
Like, that's per stream.
Wow.
Yeah, so they pay their artists absolute jack shit.
Yeah, that is pretty.
And it's like, guys, if you did not have them, and you did not have this shitty fucking model, you would not have the hundreds of millions of dollars to pay Joe Rogan. You would not have hundreds of millions of dollars to keep your company going.
Where does that money come? Is it all from like the people who buy like the premium membership or whatever? Because I just have a free account.
Yeah, because like I think free accounts like you listen to advertisements, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the money comes from ads, or if you pay for like a premium subscription, then you get no ads or something like that, I imagine.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean the thing is like I don't really have any premium services for anything because I just like I don't use them. Like and the things that like interrupt you, like with YouTube or whatever, like the advertisements and on Spotify or whatever, like you can fast forward them, you know? So it's really not a problem for me to have the ads. And if that's how people get their money, then that's cool. Although you're right that more of it should go to the artist. Like what's it going to then? Is it going to get more sponsors? Like what's that money being used for exactly?
That's a very good question. Spotify's just like, oh, we don't know. We need money.
We bought a truck.
Well,
why?
We bought a turtle. We bought a turtle for the office.
We bought a turtle for every office. Named him all Boris. We think. We had several names though.
Like, guys, like, how come you're paying like this little money for like people that are streaming these songs? Like, shouldn't this money more money go towards the artist? Well, if we did that, we wouldn't be able to afford Phantom of the fucking Opera 1934 now, would we?
Well, you have a point.
It's $5 on DVD, fucker. Yeah, Spotify pays their fucking artists jack shit.
That's too bad.
It is too bad. Anyways, going back to Dolly Parton though.
Yes.
Like when she made that announcement, I think it was Eddie Trunk. Like I follow him on Twitter and whatnot. He made the point. He's like, hey, you know what? Good on Dolly Parton for saying like, hey, you know what? I don't really belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, yeah, AC/DC doesn't go into the Country Hall of Fame. Blah blah blah. And he's like, as much as she wants to withdraw her name, he's like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's not going to do it because the ballots have already, they've already been filled out and sent back.
So she can't actually like take herself out? No.
Like she can, like if
wow.
she gets, if she gets voted into the Hall of Fame, she can decline to go to it. But like her name is still on the ballot.
So they can't stop it now, but she can decline it later. Like why not just take her off? Like this seems overly complicated for no good particular reason.
Just let her withdraw, how the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is voted? Have you seen how the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has voted in the past?
No. And I'm not saying that because I want her out. Like I said, I think she deserves in. But like, if someone wants out, let them out.
Recognition of like across the board here.
Yeah, but if she doesn't want to go in, then I would respect that. I mean, she's Dolly Parton, man.
I would respect that as well. But keep in point too, this is also a Hall of Fame. Like, keep in mind, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that said, hey, we have all these artists that have not been nominated to go in, like Kiss, Deep Purple, Alice Cooper. Should we let them in? Nah, ABBA's more deserving to go in than these guys. And they've caught so much fucking hell because of, like, artists like that. Like, yeah, we're going to put ABBA into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But what about Kiss? What about them? It's like, they're one of the biggest fucking rock bands of all goddamn time. Like, whether you like them or not, you can't deny that, like, okay, they're part of pop culture history. Like,
yeah, the 70s were kind of owned by Kiss.
Yeah, the 70s
Kiss
were
was
pretty
everywhere.
much owned by Kiss.
Yeah.
You know, even the fucking the mid to late 90s, like Kiss Unplugged, and then the fucking reunion tour, the farewell tour that they had that first time.
That
Like,
first time. I know that wasn't a joke, but that's so funny. The farewell, the first time.
Yeah. Well, dude, somebody even asked Paul, like, well, wait, you guys already had a farewell tour. Like, why are you doing a second one? He's like, well, you know, that first farewell tour was a farewell to Peter and Ace. It's like, you didn't have to call it a farewell tour. Like, farewell is like, hey guys, we're done here.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, we're taking one last victory lap around the world, and then we're good to go.
Yeah.
It's like we feel we physically can't, like, do this much longer. Like, okay, that's fine, that's fair enough, but it's like,
You just wanted to retcon it.
yeah. It's aggravating. Anyways, but yeah, so ABBA gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Kiss. Now, when Kiss actually gets the fuck in, you would think, like, okay, they've had all of these members of the band to, like, keep them going throughout this fucking history, like Mark St. John, Vinnie Vincent, fucking Eric Carr, Bruce Kulick, Eric Singer, like Tommy Thayer. You think that these guys would be able to join them and they would be able to get in as well. No. When Kiss got in, it was the original four, and that's it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
that's not cool.
Meanwhile, as a big fuck you to them, pretty much anybody who's ever been a member of the E Street Band, even if they were a member for, like, one song on an album back, like, 20 years ago, they're like, yeah, they can come in. They're good. But, like, their fucking acceptance speeches lasted, like, pretty much an hour because there were, like, 20 fucking people there.
Oh, man. That must have been painful, seeing an hour worth of thank you speeches. Can you imagine being in that audience? Yeah. Whew.
But
I'd
dude,
be like, I gotta go to the
like,
bathroom. Even if I don't have to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
I need a break.
Here's the thing, though, dude. Here's the thing, too. Because they set up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that year, like, in New York City. Because they're like, oh, Kiss is going to be the big thing. They're going to perform. It's the original lineup. Ha, ha, ha. And Kiss is like, no, fuck you. We're not performing. We're not doing that. Like, we'll perform if it's a modern lineup, but we're not doing this with Ace and Peter.
Mm.
And they're like, no, we want you guys to perform with the original lineup. No. Like, just no.
Oh, man.
But yeah, like, dude, if I was a member of the E Street Band and I only performed with them for, like, one song on an album, like, 20 years ago, like, I didn't, like, tour with them or anything like that, and they're like, hey, you're going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'd be like, fucking why? Well, you did this one song 20 years ago, and like, that puts me with fucking rock and roll fucking royalty here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see how that works.
I don't understand how people are voted in. Like, how do you get nominated? Like, it's a weird process.
I think you're eligible to be nominated, like, I think it's 20 years after your first album is released.
But, like, who decides? Like, who picks the artist? Because that's, I mean, every year there's a lot of artists whose first album came out 20 years ago. You know.
From what I understand, it was originally, like, the editors at, like, Rolling Stone magazine would pick up, just be like, oh yeah, these guys, they should go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then they would send out ballots of, like, everybody that was nominated to go in, and just be like, all right, vote for who you guys want to go in. You know, the top 5 will go in. And now it's just like they've opened it up to, like, if you get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or if you're like a member of the press and whatnot, like you can vote on it. So that's why like Alice Cooper started going in. That's why Deep Purple started going in.
Because they opened up the vote.
That's why like Judas Priest is on the ballot.
Right on.
But I mean, kudos to anybody that's basically said "fuck you" to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, dude, when Van Halen went in, it was basically Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony like basically went on stage and just like, hey, this is kind of cool, I guess, but and they did a little performance and whatnot. It was awesome. But Eddie Van Halen, fucking Alex and David, they were just like, fuck you guys. we don't want to be a part of this.
That's hilarious.
So yes. Anyways, kudos to Dolly Parton for basically saying like, hey, appreciate the honor, but gonna pass.
Yeah.
Like,
good on her. Yeah, for sure.
Good on her. Yeah, absolutely. So I think the other thing we're going to be wrapping up with was something I saw on Twitter, and I kind of reached out to you. I reached out to Ryan and Chris, and scheduling difference. They're going to be on next week, I believe. So let me just bring this up here.
Why don't you just bring this up here?
Dude, I saw this and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So it was a tweet from Eric Alper, at that Eric Alper on Twitter.
Who's that?
And I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But I only saw it because somebody I follow on Twitter liked that tweet. So it said, Rolling Stone readers pick the best lead singers of all time. Now I'm going to go through a list, number 10 through 1, and you're going to tell me, okay, do they deserve to be on this list or not? And then afterwards, like I'll mention Paul Stanley's list, and then we can just kind of see who would be on our list of like just the top 5, because fuck it, we got time.
Oh man, okay, all right, let's check it out.
All right, let me just, where's this fucking thing? There it is. So number 10, Kurt Cobain.
So right now I'm just saying yay or nay?
Yeah, you're just saying yay or nay. Like,
okay, yeah. Then I say yes.
Singers of all time.
I say yes.
Okay. Number 9, Chris Cornell.
Yes.
Okay. Number 8, John Lennon.
Honestly, no.
Okay. Number 7, Eddie Vedder.
No.
Number 6, Roger Daltrey.
No.
Number 5, Jim Morrison.
No.
That look on your face is like, fucking why?
Because not for nothing, I love me some Doors, but Jim Morrison didn't really sing.
Yeah, he was more, I would consider like a vocalist, like Alice Cooper or Ace Frehley. They're more of like a vocalist, like they talk.
They talk more than they sing, for sure.
Yes. Let's see. Number 4, Mick Jagger.
No.
Okay. Number 3, Bono.
No.
All right. Number 2, Freddie Mercury.
Yes. Hard yes.
As you were, sir. Let's see. Number 1, Robert Plant.
No.
Okay. That list kind of like really ticked me off too, because I'm like, how the fuck is Robert Plant above Freddie Mercury?
Well, I wasn't even so much thinking of the order, but yeah, that's a good point. Like, no way above Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, like there are some singers that you can be like, you can at least like make an argument for them that they're better than Freddie Mercury. Like, Axl Rose, Steven Tyler. I think you can make an argument for them at least.
Maybe.
But like you can at least make an argument. Be it a weak one, you can still make an argument. Robert Plant? Yeah, no fucking way.
For me, it's not just about like how technically good they are. It's also like, because I mean, you have to understand that a lot of the people that are on that list are highly, highly influential singers and obviously hugely successful. But for me, like when I think of like greatest singers of all time, like they have to have like good technique, and I have to like really feel something when I listen to them sing, and them in particular. Not saying that their voice isn't good or it's not suited perfectly to the band or whatever, because like that's the thing with John Lennon. Like he was perfect for the Beatles. Roger Daltrey was perfect for the Who. Heck, Geddy Lee
Yeah.
was perfect for Rush, but greatest singer of all time? I wouldn't put Geddy
No.
on my list. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't.
No. Like maybe a top 10 of like your favorite singers? Maybe.
That's a different list. Yeah, my favorite
That's a
singers
different
would be
list, yes.
different. Yeah, that's the thing is I didn't want to put bias in the list. And that's why
Yeah.
like I think that list kind of does put bias in like who are the popular bands, you know? And not so much like who are the best singers of all time.
Yeah. Like there are some people that would probably be like, why isn't why isn't fucking David Lee Roth on there? It's like, well, David Lee Roth, arguably, he's more of a front man than a singer.
Yeah, I mean,
Sammy Hagar is more of a singer than David Lee Roth was, for example.
Yeah.
But like David Lee Roth was perfect for that.
He was a great entertainer. Yeah.
Yes, like he was a great front. Like he was what they needed up front.
And he sang really well. That's there's no question there. But not necessarily as technical. But I think you feel David Lee Roth's performance is a little more than you feel Hagar's. At least that's my opinion. I've always liked Roth Van Halen more than Hagar.
I mean, I'm in the camp of like, you know what? I like both.
Really?
There are things there were things I liked about the Roth Van Halen that I liked more than the Hagar Halen, and there's more that I liked about the Hagar Halen, like Van Halen, than fucking the Roth.
Van Hagar, baby.
He's a cop. That's a great movie. If you don't get that joke, fuck off. Oh shit. All right, so we kind of agreed to kind of come up with like a top 5 list.
Yeah, as we've been talking, I've been trying to pare mine down.
Yeah, I mean it's taken a while. I think I've kind of like narrowed it down to like who I'm thinking are like the best like singers, at least that at least I'm aware of.
Right on. What you got?
Now, all right. So again, this is in no fucking order at all. So if you're upset that one person's not like number 1 or something like that, just again, it's not in any fucking order.
Mm-hmm.
But on this list, easily Steven Tyler.
Right on.
I would say like he's got that vocal range. He can do the high pitched screams. Like he's got that rock voice. He can bring it down for a fucking ballad. He can do country music. Sort of. But,
yeah.
He has that vocal range that you want from a singer. Like he's got the vocal range, and he's a hell of a front man.
Yeah.
Like he's loud, he's colorful, he interacts with the fucking audience, he interacts with the band, and he can sing his fucking ass off. And not only that, but like if you watch like video of like Aerosmith in the 70s, you listen to him today, his voice hasn't changed, if at all. So he can still hit the high notes that he was hitting back in the 70s.
So that brings up a good set of questions, or a question that's probably a set of answers, which is like, what's your criteria for like greatest singer? Is it someone that's kind of what we're getting at, right? Is like what makes them the greatest singer of all time? Is it like their technicality? Is it like whether or not they're a good frontman too?
No, because I think frontman is kind of like, best all round kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they're good at everything. So this is more just focusing on just like singing ability.
Okay.
Doesn't equate to like, songwriting or what they do on stage or anything like that. Like this is just vocal performance.
Okay, right on.
So, okay.
Because I think like when Steven's good, he's good. I just don't know if I'd put him in my greatest of all time.
I would put him in my greatest of all time.
Wow. All right.
And again, this is not like, why isn't Steven number 1 if you're such a fan of his? Like, this is in no particular order. Because, like, it could change daily. Like, one day I'll listen to Aerosmith, like, a couple songs in, I'll just be like, I'll switch it up to, another band.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the other criteria I think that we need to have is, do they use, like, a backing track to sing? No.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes without saying. They have to be able to actually sing.
Yes. So
that's why my first pick was Vince Neil. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he does sing every other fucking word.
If that's the criteria, then Rob Zombie's in too.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Rob Zombie's at least, like, yeah, he's got vocal assist. Like, Rob Zombie's not singing to a tape. He just has, like, a vocal, like, modifier. So for me, that's... I don't know, man.
Yeah, but he also tends to sing every other word in his performances, too, from what I remember.
Yeah, but, dude, he's a lot better than Vince fucking Neil. So.
Well, yeah. That bar is kind of low, though.
Yeah, but...
You're better than Vince Neil, sir. You should front Motley Crue.
They wouldn't want me. Dude, I would be the fucking asshole that would pull Tommy Lee aside and just be like, hey, dude, just between you and me, like, I saw that Pam and Tommy TV show. Does your dick really fucking talk? Just look at me, just go, why are you our singer?
Like, who hired this guy?
Apparently somebody thought I'm better than Vince Neil. He's like, everybody's better than Vince. We all know that.
And he's like, oh, that explains everything.
Like, all right, fair enough.
All right, who else is in your top five? Or do you want to go back and forth?
Who's there? Yeah, we'll go back and forth, man.
Okay. A lot of my picks actually are from grunge era because that's what most hit me. Oh, you still got me?
Yep, I got you.
Okay, so a lot of my picks were from the grunge era, but not all of them. But again, in no particular order. Number one for me, Chris Cornell. And I'm not even necessarily a big Soundgarden guy, but I can't deny the fact that his singing was incredible. And ironically enough, when I said Eddie Vedder doesn't deserve to be on the list, one of my favorite things that Cornell did was Temple of the Dog, where it was him and Eddie Vedder, and their voices just like went really well together. But like Cornell had some pipes on him. So
yeah, Cornell had some pipes on him. I mean, shit, dude, go back and listen to his work on fucking Audio Slave.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is he was so good in like every band that he was in. Whereas I feel like if you put Eddie Vedder in front of some other band, like I don't know.
Here's the thing too, like Cornell, I think compared to like let's say Steven Tyler for example, if you put Chris Cornell in a band, like that band can kind of adapt to him. You know, if you put Steven Tyler in a different band, everybody's gonna be like, oh, they just sound like Aerosmith. It's like, well. He has that unique voice.
Yeah.
That, like, as soon as you hear, like, that first, like, opening scream, you're like, oh, it's Aerosmith. Like, well, no, it's Steven Tyler solo.
Well, I think in that case, too, it does kind of speak to Aerosmith's credit that, like, even though they're a rock band, they played with a lot of genres in a way. Like, some of their stuff was very bluesy. I mean, they did a whole blues album, but they also did some stuff that you could kind of say was borderline country sounding,
Yeah, I mean,
so like they kind of run.
That's not country influenced.
Yeah, so I mean, they run a gamut of like how they sound. So like, yeah, it's gonna kind of sound like Aerosmith, but to your point, it's because of his voice and the fact that Aerosmith was kind of eclectic in and of themselves. So they're still going.
Yeah, they're still going. When there's not a fucking pandemic going on.
yeah, we're supposed to see that, man.
Hey, they're supposed to play Fenway Park this year, are they not?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Did it get postponed again?
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I think it did get postponed to 2023.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was this year. Yeah, we will have to check that.
Yeah, we'll have to check on that. But regardless, all right. So Chris Cornell is your first pick. Yeah. All right. And again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. This is completely fucking out of order. Like, it's just, there's no particular order with this. So number 4 for me is probably Rob Halford.
Right on.
Just his vocal range is absolutely incredible. And like that's a guy, like, you look at him and you're just like, oh yeah, if he's a metal singer, he's probably Cookie Monster metal. But I mean, like, dude, he opens up his pipes, you're just like, Jesus Christ, like, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Again, amazing pipes.
Yeah, absolutely amazing singer.
Yeah.
And like the fact, and again, like the fact that he's still able to do this at his age, that speaks fucking volumes for him.
And iconic too. Like not only does he have technique, but like that voice, as soon as you hear it, you know who it. It's like you said with that. It's like you said with Steven Tyler. You hear that voice, you know who it is.
Yeah, like you know it's Halford.
Yeah, no question.
Oh yeah. Number 4 for you, sir.
I would go with Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, like he had some good ability as a singer, man. Like there is, I don't know if you've ever seen like on YouTube, someone put up videos of him in the studio of him singing. Like he was doing like different takes of a song or whatever, and like he just had such amazing pitch, man. Like his takes, like they don't really sound that different, but he was like so spot on with his singing. It's crazy. And then what's really crazy about it is he could just harmonize like instantly too. So like he could listen back to his track and just instantly just come up with like a harmony that worked with it, which probably came from being in the Jackson 5. But like, yeah, man.
Probably. I mean, if you'd been doing stuff like that long up to that point, like you should be good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I mean he was like the quintessential entertainer of the 90s, you know, or at least late 80s to 90s, right? With the whole like Thriller and then Bad, you know, like he was the king of pop, man.
Yeah, he was.
You know,
like you could not turn on a fucking TV without seeing him. Like he was
until
the
Pepsi
Michael Jordan
killed
of
him,
the
you
music
know.
world. Well, I mean, I'd say they more like set his career on fire. I mean, his hair on fire, but that's. I know. That's neither here nor there. I mean, that's such a childish joke for me to make. I mean, that's such a... that's allegedly a childish joke for me to tell.
That's allegedly. I only invited that joke over and invited it to sleep in my bed.
Or star in Home Alone.
Oh, man.
So, number 3, like... So number 3 for me, it's got to be Eric Martin from Mr. Big and his own solo career. He's definitely on the list. Just his vocal, like he's incredibly versatile when it comes to singing. Like you listen to him with Mr. Big, or you listen to his solo stuff, or you listen to him with this band Avantasia, which is basically like, who is that? The fucking like rock orchestra that would come around Christmas time, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, basically them, but with like kick-ass vocalists and like telling a story on their albums. But like he's incredibly versatile. I love that he has that bluesy kind of whiskey kind of voice, very, very soulful. I love that.
Right on.
So he's definitely on my top 5 list.
Cool.
So what do you got for number 3 here?
Lane Staley, man. When I think of like amazing grunge vocalists, but when I think good vocalists in general, I think Lane Staley. He just had that gravel and that pain in his voice, you know, but then he could also belt it out. Like he had a nice range, you know, as far as like emotion goes. So I think he's very underrated, I think, as far as like Alice in Chains in general, I think, doesn't get enough attention for their like impact on the music scene in the 90s. I mean, a lot of it goes to like Nirvana and Pumpkins, but like, man, Alice in Chains is where it was at too, for sure.
Yeah, like I think if you had to pick like the top like 3 like favorite like grungy bands from the early 90s, it's got to be like Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, and probably Pearl Jam.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then like Alice in Chains is kind of like knocking on that door.
Yeah. Yeah. But really, like, their music was way more, like, interesting, you know? A lot more dissonant, but it had kind of, like... That's one thing I like about someone else we'll get to on the list, is that he had kind of, like, almost a southern twang to his voice. Like, the way that he sang, you know what I mean? Like, it had that kind of, like, almost, like, Leonard Skinner kind of feeling, where it felt like it was southern in a way, you know? Which kind of appeals to me a little bit, I guess, so... Like, especially in songs like Rooster. Yeah, which would be awesome, honestly.
I honestly, dude, I think I'd like to hear a fucking grunge version of Freebird.
Nah, man, Simple Man. That's my jam. Actually, the Deftones did a cover of Simple Man. That's beautiful.
But I think the thing that you screwed up with on your pick is You didn't say Paul Stanley.
I didn't say Paul Stanley. No, I said Lane Staley.
No, you should have said Paul Stanley because Paul Stanley, there'd be no Alice in Chains without any Kiss in Chains.
Oh, you know what?
Remember
You're right. It
on
was
my
a typo. It was Paul Stanley. No, I'm kidding.
Remember, I had a song on my solo album called Love in Chains. Who do you think Love was? It was Alice. Alice in Chains.
It was her the whole time. Right in front of your face.
I put the clues there, but you didn't find them, Shaggy.
Had to rely on Blue. And even
That's
Blue
it.
couldn't find it.
Now you're going to wind up with a star in your crotch.
Oh, man.
Is it my pick again? Okay.
Yeah.
So, number 2, Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, yeah. He was on my bigger list of 15, but he didn't make it to my top 5, but he almost did.
He's easily in my top 10. I'd put him in the top 5 as well, but he was like he's an influential singer, but like not only that, but like he's like his solo career, he was a Black Sabbath, they call himself Heaven and Hell later on. Absolutely fucking incredible voice. And like tell me you don't get pumped up when you start hearing like fucking
Rainbow in the Dark, Mob Rules.
Rainbow in the Dark. Yes.
Yeah.
Like tell me you don't go fucking crazy when you hear those. You're like,
yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
And like that's another one too. As soon as you hear it, you're like, oh, Dio, like no question.
Yep. I mean, fucking devil horns, man. But there was also a great story that I think it was I'm spacing on the guy's name. The guitar player for Rage Against the Machine. Tom Morello. Yeah, he was telling the story about like he was in a recording studio like next to Dio, and he's like, I'm here, putting my ear up to the wall. I'm hearing them like doing like Mob Rules and whatnot, like just kind of practicing and whatnot. He's like, oh, this is so fucking awesome. I want to come over and say hi. Blah blah blah. He's like, I go next door. He's fucking like short. He's a short guy.
Yeah. And
he's like, dude, I pictured this big rock star like here or whatnot. He's like, Dio looks at me. He goes, let me tell you something, man. It's not the size of the pencil. It's how big you write your name. And I'm like, fucking Dio's awesome. And just gone way too fucking soon.
Yeah, man.
All right, we got number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me, I'm gonna go with Freddie Mercury. Incredible range, obviously iconic.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I got, man.
I thought you were going with this. I thought you were gonna go with this whole like big explanation and whatnot. But, like,
no. I mean, what do you want? He's Freddie Mercury. Doesn't he explain himself?
Like Bruce, what's your favorite candy bar? Hershey's. Why?
Chocolate.
Give us a little more, you motherfucker.
Well, I liked his singing. Still likes it, and we'll probably keep liking it. That's all I got to say about that. No, but seriously, like, he's another one who could do literally anything. Like, he did opera, too, remember? He often did, like, an opera album. And then, of course, Bohemian Rhapsody and just all the different, like, think about all the iconic Queen songs, and all of those sound a little bit different, I mean, they sound like Queen, but they kind of ran the gamut of stuff, too. So that's one thing I've liked about bands like, Queen and, I forget who I mentioned before. Anyway, like bands who can kind of like thread the genre needle,
Yeah. It kind of morphs into my number 1 pick is Freddie Mercury as well, but
nice.
I mean, A, his vocal range is absolutely incredible. B, like you really think about it. Like they make an Elton John biopic, for example. You can replicate Elton John's voice. Like the guy that got to play Elton John, like he did a phenomenal fucking job singing to him. Freddie's voice is so fucking like unique. They could not have this actor replicate it. They couldn't bring in a singer to replicate Freddie Mercury's vocals. So he had to lip sync to actually Freddie Mercury.
Except they did with the Bohemian Rhapsody movie. They got that Mark Martel dude. You ever seen Mark Martel?
No.
Oh, dude, you got to check out some Mark Martel, man. He does pretty good for sound like Freddie. He actually did sing some of the stuff for Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie. Because they couldn't get Freddie because, well, he's dead, man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they have the technology that they could isolate his fucking vocals.
I guess, yeah, but no, they had him like stuff they didn't have him recorded saying or singing or whatever. Like
That's the thing. Like that's how unique Freddie's voice is.
Yeah.
Like you really think about it, and like not only that, but like
the crazy thing though with that
really
Mark Martel
like,
guy, like look at him, he looks like Freddie too. So I think that's part of it. Like I don't know, like the way your jaw is designed and stuff. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I think he said like his like something like going on with his mouth, like he had this big like overbite or something like that. He's like extra teeth or something. He's like gives me a wider vocal range.
Yeah, because people always would ask him a lot, like why he didn't get it fixed or whatever, and he was basically he thought that like it helped with his vocal range and his sound, so he didn't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, look at the video of him at Live Aid, like
yeah, it's not long, it's not that long. But it's iconic.
Like, there are fucking pastors that wish they could do that to a crowd a quarter of that size.
No kidding.
Like he has got that crowd in the palm of his fucking hand.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking incredible.
Yes. Yeah, when he had them like singing with him and stuff, it's just like wow.
Yeah, dude, just that.
And it's Wembley Stadium, and like literally every person. It's just like, holy crap, man.
Dude was absolutely fucking incredible. He's easily one of the greatest singers of all fucking time. Like, if he is not, like, again, you making lists like this, like, okay, it's, not in any particular order. If Freddie Mercury is not in your top 5 of favorite singers of all time, or, like, greatest singers of all time, you fucked up.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because I think everybody can respect him, because he wasn't one of those, like... you think about like Dio, or you think about Halford, or Chris Cornell, like they could be kind of niche in a way because they were pretty hard music, right? Like Lane Stanley, like it's pretty hard music. Not everybody's going to respect it. But with Freddie Mercury, you're going to get a wide gamut of people who respect Freddie Mercury's work. So
yeah,
he's popular, but popular for a reason because he's really good.
Yeah, and like he again, like he was essentially David Lee Roth before David Lee Roth.
Yeah, and he didn't need no kendo stick, sir.
Yeah, he didn't need a giant inflatable microphone to represent his dick.
Yeah, that killer mustache. That's why.
Yeah, but it's also like, dude, like Freddie like was the total package. He could sing. He was a front man. He could write songs.
Yeah.
He could write lyrics. Like he could play the piano. Like he was everything.
Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely incredible singer and frontman. But, anyways, now that I've given my spiel about him, not being like,
is that all you got, Andy? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I like chocolate.
Yummy, it tastes good.
Who you got for number 1?
Scott Weiland, another grunge pick. But like the thing with Scott Weiland is like it comes with a caveat, which is that like as he went on, he was not as good. Like in the later years, he kind of got like sloppy. But at the beginning of STP's time and before that, even I forget which band he was in before that. Like, I meant to mention that too. Is Lane Staley was when he was in Mad Season. Even that stuff was incredible. Same thing with Scott Weiland when he was in other groups. He was pretty amazing. And that time, you mentioned Jim Morrison and the Doors. When they actually did the reunion thing and Scott Weiland came and sang with the Doors, it was like, wow, like he's actually a pretty good replacement for Jim Morrison. But he also has that kind of like southern drawl about him when he sings. That was awesome. But then in Velvet Revolver, he went a little bit harder, but I didn't necessarily like his vocal style as much in Velvet Revolver as I did in like Stone Temple Pilots. But for me, like one of the classic Unplugged performances is STP Unplugged. I love that episode. It was probably like them at their best.
I haven't seen that. Like I think I know Paramount Plus has MTV Unplugged on there, and there's like a couple of artists on there. Like I know Nirvana's on there.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if Stone Temple Pilots is on there because I don't know if it's like a licensing issue or whatever the fuck have you. But but yeah, that's one I haven't seen. Like the only ones I've really seen were like Nirvana, Kiss, and Aerosmith Unplugged.
Oh, right on. There's a lot of them that are really good, though. Alice in Chains was good. LL Cool J's was
Oh,
good.
dude, like you just listen to like Aerosmith doing One Way Street unplugged, man. Like, holy shit, that's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, you can like just close your eyes and just picture it's like it's like an old school like blues performance.
Yeah, yeah. It is pretty cool to have the unplugged thing. I love that. Like just a different setting.
Yeah.
It's a great idea for a show.
All right, so we'll ask this one before we kind of wrap it up. So I know you said you did like a top 10. Was there one art? Was there? Well, you did like top 15 because you over fucking compensate. But anyways, who was the artist on that top 10 list? Like the ones that didn't make your top 5. Like of those like bottom 10. Who is like the artist that you were just like you were really on the fence? Like I want to put him on. No, I got to take him off. Put him on. Take him off. Put him on. Take him off.
Sinatra.
Like there's one that like kind of sticks. Sinatra.
Sinatra.
See, I would never picture you for a Sinatra fan.
That's the thing. I'm not. That's why I didn't quite make the top 5. Is because like I can recognize his influence and his technical abilities and everything, but I can't really say that I'm a guy who listens to Sinatra. But I was actually listening to a bit of him because. For 2 reasons, really. One, I was taking vocal lessons at the time, and the coach or whatever had me doing a Sinatra song, "The Days of Wine." I don't know if it's his song, but he did a version of "The Days of Wine and Roses." So I was doing that song at one point, and so it got me curious about it. I mean, he did a version of "Autumn Leaves," which is a song that I play on guitar. So I've heard a little bit of Sinatra, and what I've heard, I mean, you can't deny Sinatra. So that's why I was like, he's so like iconic, but I was like, but not really my cup of tea necessarily.
Yeah. I will say one of the artists in my top like 15 and whatnot that probably would surprise a lot of people was going to be Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I love his work with fucking Matchbox 20. I love his solo work. Loved his work with Santana. Like this, like his vocal approach, I like it just because it's. I mean, it's not flashy. It's not ballsy. It's almost like if you had to qualify it almost as a personality, it would be almost like an everyman kind of singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easily adaptable to it's adaptable to Santana. It's adaptable to whatever the fuck he's doing for solo work, which I mean, he just did a fucking Christmas album. Why I don't know, but.
That's a good point, though, that he does have like that sort of like more like subdued approach. He doesn't like go for it. I mean, he can sing, but he doesn't like,
Yeah,
he's appropriate for whatever he does somehow.
Yeah, like you hear him get angry on, songs like "Feel," for example,
Mm-hmm.
or he can hold back with like "Bright Lights,"
Mm-hmm.
But he's absolutely incredible singer.
Yeah.
So he's like one of those guys on my list. So I was like, I want to put him in the top 5. No, it's also like, okay, how do I put Rob Thomas above like Dio, for example, or how do I put him above Freddie?
Yeah.
Like,
you can't do that in your heart. Yeah.
It just in my heart and just in my head, I was even going like, this is probably the wrong thing to do. It's
got a little voice on your shoulder, like.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of like the equivalent of putting like pineapple on a pizza.
Yeah.
I don't think pineapple goes on pizza, but other people enjoy it. But I have no justification for putting pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst analogy I could make, but you know what? Fuck you. I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna stick with it. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off, confound you. So, anyways, but yeah, man, those are that's got to be our list for that because I mean that's and that's the thing too is like the reason why I said like no particular order in that sense was because like like I have to like legit like if I had to put that in order I had to legit like justify like okay if I put this person at number 1 why would they be above this person like if I put Eric Martin at number 1 for example I was like how do I justify putting him above Freddie Mercury
and how do you determine that like who would win in a jousting match like who would win in a fist fight you know what I mean like who would win at chess like you know what I mean
Yeah, because I mean, like I assume Dio would win. He'd be kind of like the odd job and the Golden Eye kind of scenario.
Oh man, it's a hard thing to quantify though, for sure. It's hard to narrow it down, let alone put them in order.
Yeah, because it's again, it's like how.
Because what do you
like,
base it on?
Yeah, like what do you base it on? Like how do I how do I justify this pick?
Yeah.
Like how do I justify? If I were to put like Steven Tyler at number 1, how do I justify putting him above Freddie Mercury? How do I justify putting Freddie Mercury above Steven Tyler? How do I justify et cetera, et cetera?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, if you put them in no particular order, great.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if anybody knows this about Bruce and I, but we are fucking lazy sometimes.
Yes.
There are things that we are not lazy about.
True.
But there are many things that we are lazy about. Like making lists, we're incredibly fucking lazy about that.
You should see the graph I came up with. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, hey, you want to go watch Breaking Bad? Nah, I don't have the time for it.
Exactly.
What are you watching right now? Like, what are you watching right now? Going back and watching Batman Beyond. Because that's a great series too, so shut up.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It was hard picks, man. Hard picks.
I mean, it's hard picks, but you know what, man? Like, there's justification for adding everybody to that list.
Oh, for sure. And then if you think about like all the sum total of all of our different ones, like we both picked Freddie, but other than that, we had unique ones, right? So like think about all of those people on one list. Like imagine if you got to see a concert of all of those acts. Like you'd be like, man. That'd be incredible.
Ticket for that would be like $1,000 for the fucking nosebleeds.
Exactly. And of course, Paul would have to be there. Well,
I mean,
because you did have one that you both had together, so there's room for one more.
I mean, we can take Kiss out of the equation for example, and just put Soul Station on there. I mean, who doesn't like to hear "Ooh Child"?
And remember, you can take Kiss out of the equation, but you can't take the equation out of Kiss. What does that even mean? It means I'm coming.
Well, you can't take the equation out of Kiss, but you know what you can do, Bruce? You can put the X in sex.
And you could buy a Kiss calculator to solve for X.
See, that's true. Now, for those that don't know, we also have Kiss condoms and Kiss coffins and Kiss funeral urns, so we can catch it coming and going at the same time.
Does he actually say that?
Yes, he does.
Oh my gosh.
Those products exist. There were Kiss
I know
condoms
they exist, but the fact that he says that, or has said that at one point in time.
Yeah, he said that. We
like
have Kiss condoms and we have Kiss coffins. Yeah. I mean, it is Gene, so yeah. Though truth be told, if I had won Powerball a while back, I would have fucking probably bought his house in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like he had this like massive like house he was selling for like it was like $15-16 million or something like that. It's like 10 miles off the strip. But like you like look out the fucking windows at night and you could see the entire strip just like lit up and whatnot. It looked really fucking nice.
That's awesome.
I was like, fuck, man, that would have been nice. But
yeah.
Nope. True to luck. Stuck doing this.
Oh man.
Is that look? You're just like, you fucking asshole. Like, I'm stuck doing this with you. How do you think I feel? Okay, I guess I don't feel as bad then.
Touche, sir.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I think that's going to do it for us this week. Bruce, you got anything to plug here, man?
Well, you can check out my information at bgguitar.wixsite.com, I think is the website. Dude, I don't know. It's in the doobly-doo. Hang on. So it's bgguitar.wixsite.com/home if you want to check out some guitar lessons from yours truly. And all my other socials are there too, so rock it to it.
Oh, fucking it. You know what I forgot to do? I even mentioned it during the podcast was the reason we brought up the best singers list was because fucking Paul Stanley tweeted about it too.
Oh,
so yep. Real quick, I'll run through his list and then just kind of like give me a yay or nay on it. So he did a top 11. He's like off the top of my head. Number 11, Ann Wilson.
I don't even know. Is that from Heart?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Number 10. This motherfucker legit has 2 people at 10. All right, so number 10, he has Lou Gramm and Brian Johnson.
I don't know who Lou Gramm is, but no, for Brian Johnson.
Okay.
Should I know who Lou Gramm is?
Lou Gramm, isn't Lou Gramm of Foreigner?
Could be.
Yeah. Either way, number 9, Brad Delp.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Number 8, Steve Perry.
No.
Steve Perry. Number 7, Janis Joplin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Number 6, Paul Rogers.
Don't know Paul Rogers.
Paul Rogers wasn't he? Now I'm spacing on shit. Let's see, Paul Rogers. Let's see, lead vocalist, Bad Company.
Oh, okay. No.
I thought he sounded familiar. Anyways, number 5, Rod Stewart.
That's tough. I'd say yeah.
I'd say top 10, probably not, but I think he'd be on my like top 15, sure. Number 4, David Ruffin.
Don't know him.
Don't know him either. Do a quick search. Let's see, David Ruffin. Okay, it's like American soul singer and musician, most famous for his work with one of the lead singers of the Temptations.
Okay.
So if you're a Temptations fan, like okay, I guess. But number 3, we've already said yay, which is Freddie Mercury. Number 2, Steve Marriott.
Don't know him.
Don't know him either. Search for this one too. Pardon me. Lead singer of Humble Pie.
Yeah, I don't really know any Humble Pie, honestly.
And neither I. Number 1, Robert Plant.
Still no.
Yeah, that's still a no from me, man.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
What have you got to plug, sir?
So, I want to plug Dr. Finnegan's Circus. So if you go on their Facebook page, just search for Dr. Finnegan's Circus. You'll find all their tour dates, like some of the ones I'll give you here. April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the New England Tattoo Expo in Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. May 10th, they're going to be at Camp Bar in St. Paul, Minnesota. May 21st, they'll be at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Pardon me. June 18th, they'll be at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo in Austin, Texas. June 25th, they'll be at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo in Kansas City, Missouri. July 15th, 16th, 17th at the Hunts Vegas Tattoo Expo in Huntsville, Alabama. July 22nd, 23rd, 24th at Live Free or Die Expo at Manchester, New Hampshire. They'll be in August 20th. They'll be at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo in Buffalo, New York. And don't forget, you can also go to, tpublic.com/user/Finnegan Circus, and you can actually pick up some cool T-shirts that are over there. I actually bought one of them myself, man. It's kind of like a parody of like a Motorhead album. I forget which one it is, but
oh, cool.
It's I thought it was really cool.
That's
so
awesome.
I picked up a shirt. That's right. I support the circus. But yeah, I haven't seen them live. I kind of want to. Just anytime I've had like, the actual chance to go and see them, something has come up, and I'm just like, fuck. All right, I'll catch them next time.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Maybe if I have the, assuming there's no like schedule conflicts or anything like that, fucking maybe we'll go see them up in Manchester. Who knows?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, July 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We could probably do that.
You can make dreams come true.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do that. Go see a sideshow circus. See a guy bite some glass. Put a nail in his nails. Step on nails. Cinderblock special visit. Yeah, Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But that's going to do it for us this week on Let Us Cast. Again, I'm Andrew, and with me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey.
And we will catch you guys next time.